We got a lot going on right now, everyone. Senator Jeff Flake is saying that he wants a one-week investigation by the FBI into Dr. Ford's allegations against Judge Kavanaugh, and it looks like he's going to get it. The President of the United States just saying moments ago that he wants whatever is best for the country. He is okay with this. Senator Lindsey Graham saying a very similar thing. He's okay with this, and if this is what it takes, this is what it takes. But you have a lot of conservatives as well that are getting a little bit worried. I mean, maybe this is just another stall tactic. Is it? Joining me right now, Chairman of GOPAC, David Avella, former sex crimes prosecutor and chairman of the National Bar Association PAC, Scott Bolden, and the president of Maslansky and Partners, Ms. Lee Carter. Good to see all of you guys. I'm going to start with David.
Good seeing you.
David, are you worried it's just another delay tactic?
Well, if you're the Senate leadership, Jeff Flake has shifted this morning. Now you have to wonder if he is going to flip. All the more reason why Senator Murkowski and Senator Collins' votes are so important to this process. And Vice President Pence being close, should there be a tie vote. But
right,
Trish,
so you're okay with waiting a week and getting the investigation done?
Let's keep in mind what we're seeing here. It was the Democrats who changed the rules a few years ago to go from 60 votes to confirm a Supreme Court to 51 when they couldn't get to 60. And now what we're seeing, it's the Democrats, with the help of Senator Flake, who are going to try to change the process, that now they get to add amendment, they get to add, what's the word I'm looking for, add-ons to the vote.
David, what the concern is by Flake and some others is that the country's in such a divided spot right now that if you were to allow this confirmation to go through and you pushed it through and you didn't do an investigation, it would mean that half the country, and perhaps I'm going to go to Lee on this, a lot of women might feel like you're not listening to them. You're not hearing their side. And I think that the Republican Party might pay a price in some ways for that. Your thoughts?
I think the Republican Party would absolutely pay a price for not listening right now. It would be totally tone deaf. When you look at the country right now, we are so divided. You've got 48% of Americans are registered independents. You've only got 27% of Americans who are registered Republicans. If the Republicans want to win in the midterms, if they want to get more votes, if they want to get people on their side, they have to make compromises.
Okay, so let me ask you this. In some ways, now just let's talk political strategy, because this is your baby. Politically speaking, is it helpful for Republicans to have all of this going on, complete disarray over this confirmation? In other words, if the Democrats continue to push this out and say, oh, we want another week on the investigation, we want another week, and we're in midterms and he hasn't been confirmed yet, does that actually hurt the Democrats more than it does the Republicans?
If we are in midterms and this issue has not been resolved, it benefits the Republicans. If we are in midterms and this issue has been resolved...
Because they're galvanized. They'll
that's
go
right.
out and vote.
Republicans are going to be galvanized to go out there and vote and get their Supreme Court justice on there. If this gets shoved through before there's an FBI investigation and Kavanaugh is the candidate, 100%, Democrats are going to be more energized than they ever have been. Look at the protests. Look at how people are acting right now. That is what is going to happen. Democrats will win in a landslide.
All right, I'm going to go to Scott in a second, but I just want to report right now that we can tell you Fox has learned that Senator Murkowski is pleased with this delay as well. She supports the one-week delay and the FBI investigation into Dr. Ford's allegations. Scott, Lee says if this thing gets dragged out, it's going to be very hard for the Democrats. What do you say?
Well, I disagree with that, but only so much. There's a lot more going on here. The Democrats wanted an independent investigation, but the Republicans want and need it now as well. Don't be fooled by the pivot. Yesterday was partisan. Today is far more congenial, and it's congenial because they wouldn't have the votes, I surmise, without taking a week to do an independent FBI investigation.
Is it really going to be a week?
Well, I think because it's not a big document case. I'm a former sex crimes prosecutor. You're talking about a number of interviews. You have a lot more than we had as far as technology is concerned than when Anita Hill was the issue. And I think they can do an efficient, effective investigation and just report back. That gives the Republicans cover with women for the midterms.
What is it that they're going to be looking at? I mean, because given your background in this field, what is it that they're going to be asking? What is the process going to look like for the FBI?
Mark Judge is going to be interviewed first and under oath. The 4 persons that said that they don't remember or they weren't there at that location are going to be interviewed next under oath. And then the number of people who have come out who have said Kavanaugh is lying, not about the notebook or the yearbook, but of how he's painted himself into a place whereby he was not an excessive drinker. I think they're going to investigate that, too, because that's a rabbit hole for the GOP, because if he was an excessive drinker, they're going to want to know about that, too, because here's why it's important, because both of them could be telling the truth. Kavanaugh may have been an excessive drinker. He may have passed out or blacked out, maybe not, right? But that's a pretty good indication that he may not remember. That's how you get to both of them being so compelling. And so the FBI could be very important in that regard. But the Republicans need this too, because they need the woman vote or more women to vote for them during the midterm.
I think that's a valid point. I think that if the Republicans just, I know a lot of people want to see him on the court, but the reality is it could cost the Republicans a lot. And frankly, it could cost the president a lot, because if you were to see the Republicans take the House and Senate, my goodness, I think all bets are off in terms of what would happen to him and his administration. So, David, politically speaking, does this have any upside for you?
Judge Kavanaugh getting on the Supreme Court has a big upside, in particular in that
the 1 week delay,
say
which might turn into longer. Who knows?
Here is the reality. Not one Democrat on that Judiciary Committee is going to change their vote based off the findings of the FBI investigation. This still comes down to where does Senator Murkowski and Senator Collins come down. They are the key votes in all of this process. And if both of them were saying or do say they're voting for him no matter when the vote comes up, it gives Senator McConnell every reason to go ahead and have the vote on Tuesday. If they say to delay it for a week and he decides to go that route and they vote yes, Judge Kavanaugh still gets on the Supreme Court, which is crucial. And I may disagree slightly with my colleagues here. It is crucial that Judge Kavanaugh get on the court, because there will be plenty of people in the Republic. But yes.
So why are people going to go out to? I mean, I think Lee put it very well. She said people are going to be motivated. They're going to hightail it right to the voting booths because there's so much at stake. And if they've already got what they want for the next however many years, why are they as motivated to go?
Sure. Well, I've talked to a number of individuals across the country, conservative groups, who say, look, if we have the majority and we can't put a judge on the court that we want, what's the point of going out and voting?
I think that people are very different than that.
I think they're doing this to put someone on the court.
I got to leave it there, but, I will give you this. It's disturbing that allegations from 36 years ago are now creating such a challenging time in the country, for sure. And that's the tough part of all this.